one taking up Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in English. My topic is all about leadership styles. What is leadership style? A leadership style refers to a leader's characteristic behaviors when directing, motivating, guiding, and managing group of people. Great leaders can inspire political movements and social change. They can also motivate others to perform, create, and innovate. As you start to consider some of the people who you think of as great leaders, you can immediately see that there are often vast differences in how each person leads. Fortunately, researchers have developed different theories and frameworks that allow us to better identify and understand these different leadership styles. Next, let's proceed to the different kinds of leadership styles. First one is authoritarian leadership. An authoritarian leadership style is exemplified when a leader dictates policies and procedures, decides what goals are able to be achieved, and directs and controls all activities without any meaningful participation by the subordinates. Such a leader has full control of the team, leaving low autonomy within the group. Authoritarian leadership or survival. A leader makes a decision and announces it. A leader announces his decision with no feeling of responsibility or accountability to share the reasons. A leader presents decision but sells it to member. A leader announces his decision and shares the reason behind it, which has been prepared in advance. A leader presents a decision and invites questions for clarification. A leader announces his decision but responds to questions for clarification on an impromptu basis with a rationale to explain the members. This also refers to a dialogue with no express willingness to change decisions. Next is consultative leadership. Consultative leadership is basically task-oriented and always focuses on the end result by using the skills of others in formulating plans and taking decisions. Consultative leadership or security. A leader presents a tentative decision subject to change. A leader announces his tentative decisions and announces that he is open to questions for clarification and discussion. This refers to a dialogue with willingness to change decision if necessary. A leader presents a situation, gets input, makes a decision. A leader identifies a situation or problem and moves into a facilitating role to surface assumptions and suggestions, then moves out of facilitating role and makes a decision. A leader calls on members to make decision but holds on veto. A leader calls on the group to identify situations and limitations, explore and makes a decision contingent on leaders' veto power. Next is enabling leadership. An enabling leader is passionate about finding ways to actively engage people in working on the issue that affect their organizations and themselves. The aim is to discover ways to motivate everyone to become committed participants in moving constructively on the goals. Enabling leadership or participation. A leader defines limits, calls on members to make a decision. A leader shares any givens, funds available, time, parameter, and so on, and facilitates decision by members on basis of limitations. A leader calls on members to identify limits, explore situation, and make a decision. A leader maintains a facilitating role by allowing members to identify a situation or problem, identify limits, explore, and make a decision. Next, let's now proceed to the 7 primary leadership styles. Number 1 is autocratic style. The phrase is most illustrative of an autocratic leadership style is, "Do as I say." Generally, an autocratic leader believes that he or she is the smartest person at the table and knows more than others. They make all the decisions with little input from team members. This command and control approach is typical of leadership styles of the past, but it doesn't hold much water with today's talent. That's not to say that the style may not be appropriate in certain situations. For example, you can dip into an autocratic leadership style when crucial decisions needed to be made on the spot and you have the most knowledge about the situation, or when you're dealing with inexperienced and new team members and there's no time to wait for team members to gain familiarity with the rule. Number 2, authoritative style. The phrase most indicative of this style of leadership, also known as visionary, is "follow me." The authoritative leadership style is the mark of confident leaders who map the way and set expectations while engaging and energizing followers along the way. In a climate of uncertainty, these leaders lift the fog for people. They help them see where the company is going and what's going to happen when they get there. Unlike autocratic leaders, authoritative leaders take the time to explain their thinking. They don't just issue orders. Most of all, they allow people choice and attitude on how to achieve common goals. Next is peace-seeking style. "Do as I do" is the phrase most indicative of leaders who utilize the peace-seeking style. This style describes a very driven leader who sets the pace as in racing. Peace-seaters set the bar high and push their team members to run hard and fast to the finish line. While the peace-seater style of leadership is effective in getting things done and driving for results, it's a style that can hurt team members. For one thing, even the most driven employees may become stressed working under this style of leadership in the long run. An agile leadership style may be the ultimate leadership style required for leading today's talent. Should you avoid the peace-seating style altogether? Not so fast. If you're an energetic entrepreneur working with a like-minded team on developing and announcing a new product or service, this style may serve you well. However, this is not a style that can be kept up for the long term. A peace-seeking leader needs to let the air out of the tires once in a while to avoid causing team burnout. Number 4, democratic style. Democratic leaders are more likely to ask, "What do you think?" They share information with employees about anything that affects their work responsibilities. They also seek employees' opinions before approving a final decision. There are numerous benefits to this participative leadership style. It can engender trust and promote team spirit and cooperation from employees. It allows for creativity and help employees grow and develop. A democratic leadership style gets people to do what you want to be done, but in a way that they want to do it. Number 5, coaching style. When you having a coaching leadership style, you tend to have considered this approach. A leader who coaches views people a reservoir of talent to be developed. The leader who uses a coach approach seeks to unlock people's potential. Leader who uses a coaching style open their hearts and door for people. They believe that everyone has power within themselves. A coaching leader gives people a little direction to help them tap into their ability to achieve all that they're capable of. Number 6, affiliative style. A phrase often used to describe this type of leadership is people comes first. Of all leadership styles, the affiliative leadership approach is one where the leader gets up close and personal with people. A leader practicing this style pays attention and to support their emotional needs to team members. The leader strives to open up a pipeline that connects him or her to the team. Ultimately, this style is all about encouraging harmony and forming collaborative relationships within teams. It's particularly useful, for example, in smoothing conflicts among team members or reassuring people during time of stress. Number 7, laissez-faire style. The laissez-faire leadership style is at the opposite end of the autocratic style. Of all the leadership styles, this one involves the least amount of oversight. You could say that the autocratic style leader stands as firm as a rock on issues, while the laissez-faire leader lets people swim with the current. On the surface, a laissez-faire leader may appear to trust people to know what to do, but taken to the extreme, an uninvolved leader may end up appearing aloof. While it's beneficial to give people opportunities to spread their wings, with a total lack of direction, people may unwittingly drift in the wrong direction, away from the critical goals of the organization. This style can work if you're leading highly skilled, experienced employees who are self-starters and motivated. To be most effective with this style, monitor team performance and provide regular feedback. Now, after we know the 7 primary leadership style, let's now proceed to the choosing leadership style. Knowing which of the leadership styles works best for you is part of being a good leader. Developing a signature style with the ability to stretch into another style as the situation warrants may help enhance your leadership effectiveness. Number 1, know yourself. Start by raising your awareness of your dominant leadership style. You can do this by asking trusted colleges to describe the strengths of your leadership style. You can also take a leadership style assessment. Number 2, understand the different styles. Get familiar with the repertoire of leadership styles that can work best for a given situation. What new skills do you need to develop? Number 3, practice makes a leader. Being genuine with any approach you use, moving from a dominant leadership style to a different one may be challenging at first. Practice the new behaviors until they become natural. In other words, don't use a different leadership style as a point-and-click approach. People can smell a fake leadership style a mile away. Authenticity rules. Lastly, develop your leadership agility. Traditional leadership styles are still relevant in today's workplace, but they may need to be combined with new approaches in line with how leadership is defined for the 21st century. Developing the proper type of leadership skills and The 7 primary leadership styles are vital for all organizations. Management will be more accessible when the style of leadership approach applied gets well with the team. It is because this will promote harmony and make for better working environment for employees in the workplace. To choose the best, you must know yourself, know your staff and their needs, understand and practices the different styles, and this be open to feedback and make the final decision. In some cases, it is not uncommon for individuals to use a blend of different styles. It is because different situations demand different approaches. In this scenario, you need to practice agility in your leadership style as well. These are the things you must do to make the right decision in choosing between different leadership styles. As a future English teacher, it is important to know that the different leadership styles, it is important to identify which style do you prefer as you become leader. Being a good leader can make your group successful. This may help you and your group to achieve your goal. So, that's all for today. Hope you learned something. Thank you and God bless.